Hello, this is JJ at pianodownloads.com, and I'm going to show you some stuff in the key of G. So right after me saying that, I'm sure I lost a third of you gospel players out there. So if you want to learn to play in another key other than this key, that I have plenty of other videos. And Khalil, this video is for you. To give you some ideas on what you can play for talk music. Key of G was one of the first keys I learned. It's only got one sharp, and it's a whole lot of songs are in there. Goodness, like There Is None Like You. So in Key of G, you can see I just ran through that song, and you can put some gospel-y ideas in there. If you're a CCM player and you're into you can just look what I did. Something like this, and it may fit, it may not fit. You may have some guitarists looking at you funny, but all I did was I did a passing chord. Normally you would do a G over B, but I just raised that G on the right hand to an A flat, and then that gives me a tritone right there. See there, tritones that just slap you in the face. And for those of you who think they don't know tritones, you're probably already playing them. You just don't know. Like if you play a diminished chord, look, tritone, look, tritone. So that's what gives you that dissonant feeling. That if this were Spanish Inquisition times, or if this were Crusades, these would be the take your head off chords, because they would take your head off for playing these, for playing that, Diablos en Musica. Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. Not for that time. But for today, it all belongs to God. So check it out. Key of G. Here's some ideas you can play for talk music. Let's say a lot of people do this in A flat. And okay, I'll play it in A flat. Smokey Norfol's I Need You Now. And let's let me pull up my Chordy app. And also let me give a mention about the Chordy app. Chordy is an app that I just love because it's one of the only chord scanners that recognizes tritones. So more I'll probably post a review or review a quick little blurb on that later. But in A flat, I have the 4, the 5, and the 6. So let's take it down to G, to our CCM key, because it's just a half step away. But this is why I stress learning to play in every single key, because A flat has a sweet spot that's different than G. You could take this same chord and play it lower, it becomes a little too low. I could, it may talk very well if you're playing gently, but this when you really start to push it, because in the key of G, that may work. It's getting a little bit too low down in that register, but A flat, a little better. Actually, when you get familiar with your keys, you'll start to know where the sweet spots are for every key. So in the key of G, I would probably not do this, because that's way down there. I'd probably do, say, an octave higher. There's that same chord. So 4, 5, 6, and then something like this. So what did I do there? Tritones, you know, and the Chordy app says, check this out, F over D flat tritone. But it also gives you it gives you, you know, several names for every chord that you play. And, you know, so it says D minor 911, you know, and let's see, G 913. So every key, once you learn every key, 5, 6, and then raise 5th, and then 4, and then check this out. So this chord here, A over C sharp, and or you can voice it like that, and do a raise 5th idea. Three, 4. All right, see a little plain there, or you know, 6/9. It says 6/9 no third. 3, 6, 2. Now check this out. What did I do there? A on the right hand, B on the left hand. So instead of me playing a B minor 7, I played A major over B, and then something tritone. It says Chordy says G sharp, E over E tritone, and then you take the whole thing and then a lot of times, you know, you can hang on certain notes. So check it out. G, hanging on that G. Really simple ideas. And then this. So G, A minor, G, A minor, G, A minor. So G, A minor, G, A minor, G, and then a grace noted G. So check it out. Let me do that again. See, that G was hanging there. It comes from organ. You know, you organ will mess you up. And, you know, it'll really change you. If you're a piano player, you're a piano player. But once I moved over to organ, I'm like, man. And then, you know, my left foot is, you know, really changed my whole way of thinking. So check it out. D up top. So have fun with that, and